All right, my Alpha Futures family, we're back with another trader interview today. Those of you that don't know, my name is Ben. I'm the COO here at Alpha Futures, and I've got a trader with me today. I will let him introduce himself now.
Hi guys, my name's Kareem. I'm 20 years old from London, and I personally think Alpha Futures is one of the best firms out there at the moment. I've been here since the beginning, since July, I believe, when you guys first opened to the public. I was formerly with Alpha Capital, and I've been with the Alpha Future journey since the very start. And they've done amazing things so far, and I'm very excited to see what they're doing in the future as well.
Awesome, man. So glad to have you with me today. First of all, thank you for the time. Appreciate you coming and doing this with us. Just for context here, Kareem did a payout of about $3,000 just a couple weeks ago with us. Obviously, very glad to see his success. But Kareem, talk a little bit about your background. What do you do for work? I know you said you're in London. Did you grow up in that area? Kind of let us know a little bit about you.
Yeah, so I grew up in London around the Tottenham Islington area. I've been born and raised here my whole life. My ethnicity wise, I'm Cypriot, so I'm Turkish and Greek Cypriot. That's where my family originate from. But I've lived in London my whole life. I currently study as well. I'm studying business, so I'm studying to try and become a broker. I do have a lot of time to still get to where I need to get to, but working hard every single day, very hard to try and get there. And I also work two jobs for Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as well.
That's awesome. We were just talking about I have learned the Tottenham Football Club and everything since spending time in the UK. I know you said you did a little bit of work for Formula One as well. Did you mention that?
Yeah, so Formula One is a new branch. It's a new facility that Tottenham Hotspur has partnered up with Formula One. It's a
Cool.
go-kart facility. Maybe in the near future we can team up, do something with Alpha Futures and a couple fans and do like a giveaway where we take some couple people out for a couple races, and you never know, wins a couple accounts or something would be
Dude,
fantastic in the future.
George
I'd
and
love to
Alex
do
would
that.
love that. I know they'd be all over that. I would want it too. I would make. I'm already in the UK, 4 or 5 times a year, so I definitely would make it six
Okay,
to go do that. That would be so cool.
fantastic. I
Um,
am very competitive though, so
Go. Oh, you'll smoke me. I'll be there. I'll be there for good times. You guys can smoke me.
fantastic.
I'm there for the fun. That's awesome though. I mean, you're working on like
Fantastic.
the two of the coolest things in the UK, at least from an American standpoint. Like the two things that you know what I mean. Like NASCAR does not compare to F1, and you know what I
Of
mean.
course, of
Like
course.
we call it soccer over here, but like the
Soccer.
football clubs over
Yeah.
there. You know what I mean? It's such a different vibe and honestly so much better fandom. So working on like two of the coolest things over there, that's awesome. And obviously pursuing your passion, working towards becoming a broker and everything, that's great. I'm glad. Obviously the prop space
Thank you
has
very
kind
much.
of, I'm sure, opened you up a little bit to that
Of
idea, which
course.
is awesome. You know what I mean? That's obviously what we're moving towards on futures in particular, is trying to elevate people in a professional way. So why don't we talk a little bit of kind of about your trading journey? What made you get into trading in
Yeah.
the first place, and tell me a little bit about that.
So obviously, I never had the best upbringing. Growing up, I used to get myself into a lot of trouble. When I was about 11, 12 years old, I got kicked out of school, and I was in something called a unit. It's like a people referral unit where they say the bad kids, they get kicked out of school and get sent there. So I was there since I was 11 till I done year 11. So I basically done my whole journey of secondary school. So that's a bit, I think, high school, I believe. I'm not too sure
Yeah.
over in America.
Yep.
I done majority of my education in something like that. Obviously, I never had the right role models or the right people around me, so I did unfortunately go into that path of gang stuff like that, which obviously I have changed my life path now. I do help a lot of kids, um, which I personally went through. It doesn't have to be even people that go through that. I help a lot of kids that have trouble speaking to people, or they have troubles getting jobs and stuff like that. I like to help a lot of young people or people in general just try and get into the right path and not choose the path that I've been through. So once I got kicked out of school, I was just getting myself into a lot of trouble, getting arrested every single day. Obviously, it was not a nice feeling for my family, for my little brothers, as I want to be a good role model to my little brothers. I obviously got into one more trouble one last time, just when I was about 17 years old, and that's when my whole demeanor, my whole mindset changed. When I first got into round trading, I was very, very young. Funny enough, I had a teacher that used to work in that school, and I used to see him trade, thinking, what is this on his phone? I used to be like to him, "Oh, what are you doing? Are you doing like some gambling or something like that?" He was like, I'm trading forex." But obviously, he wasn't. Prop firms weren't a thing really back then, so it's more like live capital. Ever since then, it's always stuck to me. When I first got into trading, I got first into trading in crypto around 2020. Around like the mid 2020, I first got into crypto. I got into like the Shiba, I got into Doge, VeChain, loads of like other like coins and blockchains back then. Obviously, I got very, very lucky, made some money at a very young age. So where I realized I was still getting myself into trouble round this time as well. So obviously, I saw that there's more to it than that kind of road path, as in that gang type of life. I realized in the future, there's only one place you're going to end up, is either dead or in jail. And I realized that by seeing a lot of my friends pass away. I've seen a lot of my friends unfortunately go to jail, and I realized to myself that I don't want that path for myself. I don't want that path for my younger brothers, and I genuinely don't want that path for any person really in life, because it's not a joke. Obviously, like I said, there's only two ways of ending that kind of lifestyle. So I got arrested one more time. Once I did get arrested one more time, I was about 17. My whole demeanor, my whole mindset changed. I realized I can't do this anymore. I started getting into trading more fully when I was about 17. I started looking at not prop firms, but more going back into crypto, as in meme coins, because meme coins were coming more of a thing back then. Started trading with meme coins and stuff like that. Once I got into that, I lost quite a bit of money, made a bit of money. Once I started learning that you can make money online, I used to always see all these gurus, all these people online making a lot of money, but really and truly they're marketers, they're not real traders, they're there to sell you a course. Then I turned about 18 years old, and I started changing my whole lifestyle. I've gone back into school, which is over here is college. So once I started getting back into college around like 18 years old, 17 years old, I just realized to myself I just didn't want that lifestyle and I wanted to make a change. And then obviously that's where trading genuinely came into place. So I was trying to find my balance when I was around 18. I started more trading with just brokers at the start when I was 18, starting to get like the hang of it and stuff like that. Once I turned 19, this was, exactly when I turned 19, I started finding more about prop firms, and stuff like that. The first prop firm I found, genuinely, where I put a lot of research in because I used to find a lot of prop firms sketchy, was Alpha Capital and FTMO, obviously one of the two best prop firms in the game, still till this day. I started my first Alpha Capital account. I remember I blew the account. I'm gonna be very honest. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I passed the account, I did this, I blew my account, and I started realizing to myself that once you do understand how the charts work and how everything works, I had the mental frame, like, because of where I've come from and the stuff I've seen. I know to myself personally, I've got the mental and the psychological mindset to be able to do it. It's just learning how to do it. This was last year, I found a mentor. He was unfortunately a marketer, so he was a scammer. Unfortunately, since then, I've not had a mentor. I've taught myself. So obviously, I still have bumps on the roads and everything like that. But still to this day, I never give up or anything like that. Once I came into Alpha Capital, I bought a couple accounts. Funny enough, it was with a different firm. I don't want to mention the firm as they are a very dodgy firm. I got a payout. I made 20% on a 5k account, and I got paid out half of the money, unfortunately, which apparently I broke rules, even though if I broke the rules, I would have got denied the whole payout, which is very dodgy.
Yeah, if you broke the rules, it means no payout, not here's some to be quiet, right?
Exactly.
Huh.
So yeah, I don't trade with them now. They are very dodgy. They're funny enough. They're still about till this day. I don't know how. After everything they've done, they're more of a prop firm, which is they came with influencers, so marketing prop firm. Obviously they had very cheap accounts, so obviously I did go for more of that option. Obviously Alpha Capital and Alpha Futures. Obviously Alpha Futures wasn't a thing back then. Alpha Capital was a bit more expensive, so obviously at the time I did go for more the cheaper option, so I could buy more accounts and try actually live test my strategy instead of back testing, which obviously me back testing, I still back test till this day. I personally find better success and emotions from live testing, because when I do live test on demo, obviously it's not real money, because you can make crazy, you can make 20-30% whatever, which obviously you'll be a crazy trader to make that kind of money, but it's more of you learning that discipline with prop firms. What I love so much about prop firms, what helped me so much, especially with Alpha, the risk management you have to learn with trading props. That definitely did help a lot, especially with me, because you can imagine when everyone does get into trading, they think, oh, I'm going to be rich overnight, I'm going to be successful overnight. That is definitely not the case. It takes a lot of confidence, it takes a lot of mindset skills. Like, you've got to be built different. Personally, it's not for everybody. I still get friends to this day saying to me, please teach me how to trade, teach me this, I'm like,
it's not for you.
I know you as a person, it's not gonna be for you. Like, some people, they can't handle $1,000 loss on even if it's on a prop firm live account. It doesn't. Some people, they can't handle that, and to come back to the charts with a clear mindset. For example, I only take personally 2 to 3 trades a day. Even if I have 3 winning trades in that day, my computer off straight away. Even if I have 3 losing trades, my computer will come off. I don't personally like to break my rules. we're not all obviously perfect. Um, Sometimes I have broken my rules in the past, and sometimes I've been very lucky and fortunate not to um, blow my accounts or anything. I've been fortunate sometimes to put myself in a worse position, but obviously that comes with the learning curve of trading. Um, but yeah, once I did leave that firm and got my first payout with that firm, I took that money from that firm and I bought an account with Alpha Capital. Um, my first payout was 4 months into my prop firm journey.
Nice.
I got my first ever payout. Um, I don't really want to count that other firm as I got that payout in the first like 1-2 months of trading prop firms. I don't really want to count them as reliable because they are a very dodgy firm. But my first payout with Alpha Capital, I believe, was the first 3 months of me trading prop firms.
Great.
My first payout was about $1,000, I believe, on my first payout. Funny enough, that was on a 10K account. So
Yeah, good return.
even till this day, I showed people that you don't need to have a 50, 100K account to make money. You can go to these smaller account sizes. For example, I'm on the Alpha Capital Instagram with a pair of the week, with the trade of the week, sorry. I believe it was 480, $478. I made 20% on a 5K account,
Nice. Amazing.
just to show people that you can. Obviously, I did risk, I will put my hands up, I did risk more than I usually would,
Hmm.
but obviously, to make that kind of money, you do need to risk a bit more.
Sure.
But yeah, once I showed people that, I did post on the Discord. I just wanted to show people you don't have to have thousands and thousands of dollars. You can work a normal job and start off very very small just to learn. Because personally, you will need to learn. You can backtest your strategy. Could be the best strategy, and you can backtest. That backtesting is not the same feeling or the same on a live chart, and this is where a lot of people end up blowing their accounts. This is where a lot of people end up messing up with their psychology. This is where a lot of people do go wrong. So sometimes I do recommend people always go and open a demo account with a prop firm. It's not like you can't go and open a demo account with a prop firm. Instead of opening a demo account in MetaTrader or wherever it is, instead go to prop firms. You can easily sign up with any prop firm. It can be Alpha Futures, Alpha Capital. It doesn't matter. You can go there just to learn the rules. Because what a lot of people do happen, they go and buy a prop firm account. Straight away, what happens is they go and blow the account straight away. Why? Because they're like, oh, let me full put my account and try and pass this account straight away. That's where they will hit the daily loss limit, or they will hit max drawdown, and that's where a lot of people end up going wrong. If you do start small, you'll be able to feel the actual feeling of being in a real trade instead of always being in a demo trade, and that's where a lot of people do go wrong as well.
Yeah, and that's something I feel like I didn't even think, because when I picked up prop firms, I was already 4 years or so into my trading journey. Like I was a profitable trader already, so you know what I mean. Like I was solid. Like I was able to jump into
So
prop firms
yeah,
and immediately start making an impact on my trading, which was good. But I even now have come to just talking with people like you that kind of were in prop firms early in their trading careers and stuff. What a great tool they are to learn, right? Because
hundred
sim
percent,
people see sim trading and stuff. Yes, it is a great way to scale. It's a great way that you can copy trade with multiple firms and stuff. It is, yes, it has a lot of power. But if you're starting day one, it's an incredibly valuable tool because you're being forced, like you said, risk management. You're being forced into it.
100%.
We have rules you have to follow that create good habits. And the other thing is, like, I've blown, I mean, probably 20 personal accounts in my days, like maybe even more. But you know what I mean? Like I put $1,000 in, gone. right? Put $3,000
Gone.
in,
Yeah.
gone. That's the thing with prop firms too. You can only lose your fees up front. Which, I mean, our lowest account obviously
100%.
starts at $79. That's a lot better than the 3,000 you would have put in your personal account.
$3,000 a year. Exactly. Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, that
And
that
that's
was
where a lot of
something for
obviously a
me.
lot of
I
people go
wish I could
wrong.
I could have had earlier too. So that's good to hear you did use them as a tool truly to learn. But yes, you recognize the
Hmm.
power they have. They obviously have a massive amount of power for earning potential too. But learning
Of
potential is
course.
it's all there. It is all there.
It genuinely is. And it genuinely helps because obviously a lot of people come into it. Like you said, when you started off in your journey, you was using live capital. For example, $1,000, you make 10% on that $1,000 account. That's only $100. If
Right?
you make that on a 5K account, which is half the money you're put, way more than half the money you're putting. You can buy a 100K account with half that money that you're putting up with some firms, and make 1-2%, and you're making double what you're putting in with the live account. And it's crazy to see that with prop firms as well, it brings you so much discipline as well, because you know, in the back of your head, ah, I can't trade red folder news. I can't trade in these type of market conditions. I can't leave my account open for this long in a trade. Or obviously different firms have different rules,
Yeah.
but it makes you think in the back of your head, let me have a real trading plan.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of prop firms especially, help me build my trading plan. And obviously I built my trading plan, obviously not just around prop firms, but around how I would personally benefit and become more profitable with them type of strategies. Because obviously a lot of people come into it and they're all over the place. What I've realized as well with a lot of people, is they come into the space with, I'm gonna pick his strategy, or I'm gonna pick his strategy. Let me tell you something very, very honestly. Me and you might have complete different strategies. If I told you my exact strategy, or you told me your exact strategy, and we learn it to the exact perfecto, it doesn't matter if you understand it fully. My strategy might not even work for you.
Hmm.
It depends, because a lot of people go into it buying these people's courses. Your mindset and your trading habits might be completely different to me. You might be you might be a swing trader. You might be. It depends. Like it completely depends on the person. You might be a person that wants to be in and out the market in the space of couple minutes. Um, it depends obviously on your lifestyle, your mindset, and how you want to approach the markets. Because you could teach me your strategy by the T, and I will fully understand it, but when I execute in the market, it might not be for me.
Agreed.
But for some other people, it might be the perfect strategy for them. That's where, personally, obviously, I don't tell people go and have this loads of different type of strategies. Don't have this, don't have that. But obviously, it's always good to. I personally always love to hear not just people's strategies, but how other people look at the market.
Yeah.
Because
Agreed.
I could take something from your advice as well.
Yeah. There you go.
I could implement it into my strategy, or same way goes with you or anybody else. But this is where a lot of people's egos come into place, and they're like, this guy, cool, he's making money, but his strategy doesn't make any sense compared to my strategy. Personally, I don't ever go into that kind of mindset. With you going into that kind of mindset, you will genuinely struggle in trading. And that's where I personally, at the start, obviously I used to think that at the start. I'm pretty sure majority of traders and the people at home listening definitely go through that, even still till this day. But you got to look at it as people, even in these people that have brokers, people in Wall Street, these retail traders, all these all these people, You think they all have the same strategy? Do you think they all approach the market all in the same? Of course not. And this is where a lot of people end up failing.
I've personally never really had an issue with like course sellers and stuff. Of course, like I never really had a mentor per se. I did take multiple different courses when I was learning. I never really worked one on one with a mentor though. Just not something that necessarily appealed to me because I needed to take ownership of my development. But that's kind of how I think people should approach those type of programs. Is like there's something here I can learn. I'm not going to be able to repeat exactly, you know what I mean, like that person's strategy. I'm not going to be able to
Yeah,
exactly
it's true.
repeat them. But I do think like I generally have no problem with like the course sellers and stuff when they're actually teaching something. As long as there's some value there that somebody can put in their own strategy, I think people, if you found a way to market your skill, good for you. I've never sold a course myself.
100%.
You know, like that's fine, but it would need to be like, hey, this is something I really like about my strategy. See how you can put it in your own. Not my way is the best way, everyone else is wrong. And that's obviously how a lot of people market their courses and everything. But I like what you said, you're so right. Like if you take a walk down Wall Street, all of those different
Yeah,
firms are going to be trading different strategies, and that
definitely.
right there shows you that like all of these guys could be selling a different course on Wall Street. You're getting a different
100%.
product from every single one, but it's worth listening to. You know what I mean? It is worth listening to successful traders, in my opinion. But
Well, the funniest thing
fine
is
tune
as
listen.
well with Wall Street trade. Sorry to interrupt you, but the funniest
Okay.
thing with some Wall Street traders, majority of the time they're going against each other.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's what the funniest thing is. And these people are making life changing money in the markets every single day. So it just proves the point to what I'm trying to like basically
no,
let
very well
people
said.
know.
Very well said. So speaking on strategy, then we can move on. Are you able to share your screen and kind of just walk us through some tips and stuff on your
Yeah,
strategy?
bear with me.
Yeah, no worries. Just the share
I'm
screen.
so
It's
I'm
kind of like
so
zoomed
This is
towards
a
the
brand new
bottom.
computer, so I'm just trying to get used to. Can you see my screen?
Load in. Yep, there we go. We got it.
Fantastic. So what I like to do is we'll keep it up very simple. I like to use the AMD, one of the AMD models. So I like to do accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution. I will use gold, for example, as I do trade gold. The three instruments I trade gold, I trade US 30, and I trade Nasdaq. At the moment, I am trading gold as obviously gold is trading at all-time highs. We've been hitting all-time highs for the whole week, this week, which is absolutely crazy. So what I like to do for my daily bias, I will jump onto the weekly or daily, and I will just mark out, for example, different type of zones and different type of points of liquidity. I will like to do my daily bias on the daily mark. Once I use my daily bias on the daily mark, I will either drop into the 4 hour and 1 hour just for my confirmation for either the day or for the week. And then once I do my confirmation, for example, on the hour, I will look through a place of structure or a bullish or bearish fair value gap, depending on where the market is going. Obviously, because it is gold at the moment we are looking at, and it has been flying up, I would look for a retracement. For example, I will jump onto the 4 hour. Give me a second. I'll jump into the 4 hour, and as you can see right round here, we can see that gold has swept a bit of liquidity down here and has reversed back up on the 4 hour. As you can see, on gold this whole week, we've had just uptrend. So I would come into gold. Obviously, with gold this whole week, we've not seen one bit of retracement coming back down. So I would look for more of a buy signal on gold. So I will jump more from the high time frame now, going down into the lower time frame. So I would go into the 1 hour, into the 15 minutes, and into the 5 minutes. to look more for a better confirmation, for example, for either a buy, for example, I'll say for a buy, for example, as we are looking for buys on gold at the moment. I would jump into the 15-minute, wait for a retracement on gold. For example, down here was a nice little retracement we have. Obviously, right now we are kind of consolidating on gold at the moment, as we have swept all-time highs for the whole week this week. Obviously, we can see quite a lot of consolidation around here. So I would jump into either the 5-minute or 1 minute to try and find a entry point. So where I like to do my entries would either be on the 1 minute, 15-minute, or on the 5-minute as well. But my daily bias, my daily bias would be on the 1 hour, 4 hour, and the daily mark, just so I can see where the market is hitting directions for the week or for the day. I obviously look for liquidity, and I also use the AMD module just to make it very, very simple. I look for IVGs, inverse and value gaps, and I would look for different types of structures in the market. For example, my strategy consists a bit of ICT and also SMT as well. I don't have a set, I don't like to say I'm an ICT trader, I don't like to say I'm an SMT trader. Personally, I call it just my own strategy. I don't have a name for my strategy. Obviously, I'm still kind of learning, obviously at the same time, where I'm trying to implement my strategy more for people to understand. A lot of people wouldn't really understand my strategy, as it does have a bit of SMC and ICT concepts in obviously the concepts I do use. So for example, I'll jump into the 1 hour quickly for you. As you can see over here, we've had a massive uptrend around at 329, and we had a beautiful candle on the 1 hour around 3041. Obviously right now, currently, this was yesterday, I did catch this trade on my Alpha Capital account yesterday. Furthermore, I caught this trade here, I believe around 9 a.m. UK time, and I exited the trade about 10:30 UK time. So I was about in the trade for about an hour and a half. Usually, I don't like to be in a trade more than 3 hours. The sessions I do trade is usually London Open to New York Open/close. I don't really like to trade around New York close, as there's not much volume and it's less volatile around them times. So that's why I do like to trade around London Open to around New York Open/close, and just find my setup precisely through them type of zones. Majority of the time, we do see accumulation during Asia session. So I personally don't touch Asia session or Sydney session personally, as I usually see from my module, it would be accumulation. So, or if we do see the accumulation or manipulation during London session, I would tend not to touch the markets, as I'll just let the markets balance out, let it do its thing, and then I'll just look for a next entry the next day. I personally don't like to take more than 2 to 3 trades a day. The max trade I have is 3 trades. Personally, as I don't want to break my rules. Personally, it works out better for me like that. I could have 3 winning trades and I still wouldn't touch the market, for example. Or I could have 3 losing trades and my computer would turn off, as I personally think it's better for me to trade like that, especially that I do study and do work. And yeah, is there anything else you would like me to add on?
No, that's great. So, I mean, yeah, I definitely see a lot of ICT concepts and stuff here, which is we see a lot, right? Prop traders got attached to that for quite some time now. But that's great. I mean, it seems like mostly right top-down analysis, which is obviously what a lot of people are taught or pick up themselves, which is always you know what I mean something good to see people using higher time frames. I guess talk to me
Mhm.
more about like using the 1 minute. What's your average hold time?
Usually with the 1 minute, it can be from I could be in the trade from four minutes. My quickest trade actually on Alpha Futures was 4 minutes
Right.
and 30 seconds, and I believe I made 1.7k
Nice.
in that time, which was a fantastic trade. Obviously, my strategy. I can be a scalper and I can be a swing trader. I don't like to put myself in between I don't like to put myself in between both. I like to just say I'm a trader, personally, more of a day trader,
Hmm.
because I could be in the trade. For example, you could check all the trades I've taken on my account to up my payout. I've been in the trade from 4 minutes to 7 minutes, to an hour to 2 hours. Majority of the time, my trades are between 5 minutes to about 2 hours, two
Okay.
and a half hours in between them times.
Got it.
Obviously, depends on how market conditions are. Like I said, I only like to trade London Open between New York Open and close, to see if my strategy does appear. If not, I don't tend to touch the market.
It's good.
And obviously, what I like to tell people as well, never, ever, ever, please, guys, do not force a trade. You might, even if you are in drawdown, don't do it. You will regret it because the markets are here to wipe you out at the same time. Obviously, you can make a lot of money, but you got to remember a lot of people on there have got so much experience in the market. They're going to see, obviously they're not going to see you, and obviously prop firms are not going to come there and say, oh yeah, let's hit your stop loss, let's do that. They don't do that. But obviously it's never ever ever a great idea to go against your strategy. I've gone against my strategy and sometimes I have been very lucky, yes. But then I look back at myself once I'm doing my back test and I look back, I'm like, why did you do that? You shouldn't have done that. You just went against your whole strategy. And obviously, going into stuff like that, it's like you shouldn't force a trade because the market is so wonderful. It brings so many different opportunities every day. It doesn't have to be, you could trade gold, you could trade indices, you could trade currency pairs. Whatever you trade, the market will always bring different type of opportunities. You don't have to chase that trade. Cool, I know you understand. I know you want to make money. I know I want to make money. I'm pretty sure Ben wants to make money. We're all here to make money at the end of the day. That's what we have chose this path in life. But at the same time, you can't rush into it. Remember, this is a process. I've spoke to some people. I don't have no mentor. I've taught myself my whole trading journey. Um, and I've spoke to some people that have been very successful in trading, and they tell themselves, I sometimes I wish I never rushed into this trade, or I rushed into making the money. Cool, the money and everything is beautiful, obviously, but it's becoming a better person, and this is where trading has helped me leave my past life, um, getting involved with gangs and everything, into becoming a disciplined trader, and becoming a better person in general in life. Um, Personally, this is where it's helped me a lot. Trading has helped me a lot, and that's why I would love to even thank Ben as well for this interview, because this has motivated me more now to never give up and just genuinely prove to myself that I can actually do it, and I can put myself in other people's shoes where I've been there, I've done it, I've blown loads of accounts. I'll be very honest. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I've made millions and millions. Cool. I've made very good money off trading, yes, but I've also lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's not really about the money. It's about becoming a better person at the end of the day, and showing just not the young people, but your younger siblings, your family, your girlfriend, your wife, whoever it may be, that this can actually change your whole life around. It might take 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. What I've got to say is never, never give up, because genuinely, if this is your passion, you will never give up. It might take you a very long time, but once it does, I promise you, you will see results. And them results, when you look back at this video that you're watching right now, guys, you will thank me and thank yourself for never giving up, because genuinely, you can become very successful from trading, but it's not going to be an overnight thing. It does take time, and that's why I love Alpha Futures, because genuinely they show you that discipline, being consistent, it helps you genuinely a lot to build yourself as a person and build yourself as a better, as a profitable trader, in my opinion, as well.
I love it. Yeah, you've obviously got a very powerful story. I'm really happy you decided to come share it today, because
Thank
I
you.
I coach younger kids and stuff too, and one of my favorite things I ever had a coach tell me, this is unrelated to trading, but what you're saying is
Of
it
course.
does, it all carries in. I love the saying I was told by coaches that the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. If you're a
Of
disciplined
course.
trader, if you're somebody that controls your emotions, if you can handle trading, you can handle a lot of the things that life throws your way.
I
And
agree.
and I mean,
A hundred percent.
you've shown that incredibly well. So I do think your story is really powerful. I really appreciate you
Thank
coming
you.
on to share it. It's just amazing
I
stuff the
really
way you've been
appreciate
able to
it as
connect.
well.
You know what I mean, life and trading, and obviously we're really happy we've been a part of you building that passion. Futures firms have pushed each other to be better. If you guys go through my social media, I've gladly listed the other firms. I would say, hey, if you're a customer with us, I would trust these guys too. I've been open
And
about
that's
that.
what I love about you guys. You're so real and transparent about, you're happy to take criticism as well. You're there, you're happy to support not even just me, but all the traders that come into the community. And that's where my respect for you guys comes so much, because without you guys, there will be so many other traders struggling. And round of applause for these guys, because genuinely Alpha Futures, for what I've seen you guys do in the space you've done it in, I never thought you guys would be doing what you're doing, and genuinely keep it up, keep the great work up, and keep your heads high, because genuinely you guys will be one of the best prop firms, in my opinion, for a very, very long time.
Appreciate it. That was always the goal, right? Obviously Alpha Cap is what brought you over to us, but we want to see Alpha Futures catch cap, and it certainly felt that way the last 2 months. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen explosive growth with the live trading, everything we've been able to accomplish so far. Like we're certainly that was the whole goal of why I accepted the job here, right? I was like, I want to go chase Alpha Cap. I believe we can build something just as good, if not better, over here. No offense to our CFD traders, of course, but like I love the future space. I wouldn't be here if I didn't, but like I genuinely love the future space and what it
Of
does for
course.
traders. And I'm just so happy of everything we're launching with Alpha Prime and everything. It's all coming together. The vision, because George and Alex and Drew approached me 18 months ago now about joining the team and everything. I was doing just part-time content, and they kind of were just like, what is your vision, right, of what you want it to look like? And I was saying, if you asked me as a prop trader what I wanted out of it, like, yes, of course, the payouts are nice and everything. I left a stable job, though, as an engineer, and I jumped into the trading and entrepreneur space, and it worked out. Don't get me wrong, I'm so happy I did it. It still was the scariest thing I've ever done, and I want a way to make sure that career lasts. I love these interviews because, I give you guys a platform like, hey, what do you like, what do you dislike? It's just like the things I was excited about 18 months ago when we started talking about building the futures firm and stuff. It's just awesome to see it coming into fruition. And you guys also excited about it, right? Because things could be good
100%.
just for the firm. Like, you know, that's cool for us, but to hear the traders excited about it too, like that's obviously how we grow, is giving you guys opportunities you're excited about. So
100%.
I am very glad to hear that. Um,
Keep out, man.
Appreciate it, Kareem. So we are getting close on time. I appreciate the time you've given me already.
Yeah,
Any
man. Thank
other
you.
kind of closing remarks or questions you might have for me? Anything like that? I'd be glad to answer.
Um, Generally, now just keep up the good work. In in the long run, I think you guys will definitely be here for a very, very long time. And if anyone ever needs advice or anything like that, I definitely be more than welcome to share more of my story. Or if you have problems in life or anything like that, I'll be always more than welcome to help the community and anything that does come like that.
I love it, brother. You got a heart of gold, Kareem. I could tell just from the
Thank you,
hour
man.
talking together. I mean, like I said, your story is really powerful. I'm glad you're so willing to share it too. Um,
Thank
'Cause
you.
like we said,
It's taken a lot for me to genuinely do stuff like this,
I'm sure.
but I've realized this is the passion I genuinely want. I'm not here to come and sell people any courses or anything like that. I'm genuinely here just to share my story and let people know that your life can change if you genuinely put your work. It doesn't have to be with trading, it can be with the passion you want. Trading is my passion, and obviously, something like this has made my year so far. So, thank you very much as well for the opportunity as well, Ben.
Absolutely, brother. We're glad to have you here. And like I said, I could tell you got a heart of gold just from talking here. I'm
Thank you.
sure we'll get to meet at a company event in London at some point too. I'm definitely looking forward to that
100%.
day. That
I
no
would love
doubt,
to.
yeah, no doubt will happen. I have
Even if
100% confidence in
even
that.
if you guys want me to take you for a tour inside the stadium, because the go karting is inside the stadium.
Cool,
Just to let you know. So if you
cool.
ever guys want to come down, I'll definitely look after you guys and make sure you
Appreciate
guys have a nice time. No,
appreciate
you're
that,
welcome.
brother. Yeah, I have 100% confidence we will get to meet in person at some point. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah,
Thank
Kareem,
you.
thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
time, man. Like I said, I think you have an
No,
incredibly,
you're
incredibly
welcome.
powerful story. I hope other people take the time to really listen to your message because I do think it's kind and powerful, and any trader or just person in general can take something from it. So, guys, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button for Kareem. Hit that subscribe button. We'll have more videos like this as well as educational stuff on our YouTube. But Kareem, thanks so much for the time today. We will catch you guys
Thank you very
all in
much.
the
I
next
appreciate
video.
it.